The sacred feminine is a metaphysical concept that has been in existence for thousands of years and is interpreted in various ways. In the Catholic Church, for example, the Virgin Mary is venerated.
Well, the portrayal and veneration of Mary wouldn't be how I would describe it to myself in terms of the word veneration. The word veneration doesn't sit easy with me. I prefer to think of the respect and admiration I have for this woman Mary in the scriptures, because she seemed to me to come over in a very mature way at a very young age, because she responded to the invitation to have this very important role in the Christian tradition.
Mary was a virgin rather than a divine goddess. Mary would never, Our Lady's role was never to be a god. She brought to birth the Son of God, so therefore, she would have worshipped her own son, really. So I would not see Mary as a goddess, no, not at all.
Though neither of them wears a habit, Sister Bernadette and Sister Kathleen are both nuns of the Catholic Church.
But I think women, there's a search in women, there's a questioning in women for spirituality today. And I think when you look back in all the great saints, down through the ages and right back to the Bible, all the women, they have this love of God. They have this deep sense that God has called them, not in some magical way like an angel coming down from heaven or the angel Gabriel, but God has called them to do something, to spread his word. In other words, to make the world a better place.
What seems to be a terrible shame is that women down the ages and women in different parts of the world today have stereotypes, and we still are stereotyped. And I think that although there's been a lot of study and understanding and evolution of women in the scriptures, that we still choose to think that what Jesus said about women then is what he would say about them now.
Well, I have studied the Bible in great detail because I went to a convent in my earlier school life, and so it was rammed down my throat, the patriarchal religion. We as a temple don't have, or as the goddess faith, don't have a Bible. There is no rights, no wrongs. At the end of the day, the Christian Bible is written by a man. And like all stories down through the ages, they get stretched, they get fabricated, they get misunderstood, they get misinterpreted, mistranslated, and they're very patriarchal. And anything to do with women, 9 times out of 10 in the Bible, are bastardized in some sort of way, because men were taking back their empowerment from women, and therefore the Bible was a very good vehicle in which to dominate this energy out. This is a personal opinion that I'm giving you here, but generally it is felt by people who have returned to the mother faith rather than the patriarchal faith, that men took back their power from women, but there wasn't a balance. They took it back completely, whereas we want balance.
Blessed Mother of the Waters, we thank you for your water. We thank you for this blessed blood spring from the mother's great womb.
These followers of the goddess flock to Avalon, Isle of the Dead, as Glastonbury is known to them, from all over the world to be a part of this balanced society.
I'm Anique Radiant Heart, and I'm here from Australia. And in Australia, it is my great joy and pleasure to be priestess of a temple where I live on my land in New South Wales in Australia. And I come here to the Goddess Conference to be renewed and inspired for another year. And it means a great deal to me that there is this place for women and men to come and connect with the Great Mother, express our joy, express our gratitude, and to share our love with people from all over the world in this beautiful place in Glastonbury.
I'm a pagan. I was born a pagan. I've always been a pagan. That is the ancient indigenous religion of the world in all its many forms, in all the natives, American Indians, Aborigines, whatever, were pagan to start with. The love of nature, the love of the sun and the moon, and the honour of the great divine Mother, Father, God.
I'm dancing. I'm a dancer today, so that's my role today, is just to dance around. It's just wings, and I made this myself. It's nothing, it's just something I put together myself. I symbolise the air, trees and the wind and the elements, really. I'm very much an elemental being today. I symbolise fire, energy, water energy, earth energy, and air energy, because that's what we all do here. I'm going to fly. When I get to the top of the tour, I'm going to fly off.
It's very significant that sometimes you're worshipping something in isolation from the reality of your life, rather than seeing God in the ordinary.
God isn't limited by a gender. I think God is more than masculine and feminine. God is God. God has all of that within God and beyond our comprehension, really.
There has to be balance in all things, and in all of us we have the male and female energy, and in our goddess there is that energy of masculinity as well as femininity, and there has to be those balance. It's in our DNA that we have that balance.
Can I accept the goddess as a god? I'm not even sure I know what that means. I don't even know what that means.
I don't need to accept the goddess as a god, because the god is held within the god. Sorry, the god is held within the goddess. From the feminine principle always born, not from the male principle.
My one passion is for each person to know they're uniquely loved by God. People don't believe they're uniquely loved when they're excluded, judged and criticised. So I would prefer to focus on making sure that people are loved, without making judgments. I think that's between them and God, judgments.
I'd find it hard to say the word goddess. I would just find that, I suppose, a bit unnatural to say. But I think he is both male and female, so therefore he has no gender in that sense to me.
Love one another. That's what we have as our basic rule. And if we really go into that in depth and ask ourselves what it really means, I think we get some of the answers anyway.